So this Eternal Evolution video is going to be a guide on the Turbine. So there's going to be quite a few guides out for this by now, but I just want to do my spin on it because sometimes people forget the basics, and the most important thing is to actually go through the skills and figure out what heroes you should be using for this. So to be honest, the only really thing you need to know about this first up is that the damage from summoners and summons are increased by 500%, so a 5x damage on heroes like Senway and Daniel, who you get in the first 2 weeks. But then also like Kalaza, who you can build up later on. A ton of other summoners, but early game, they're the sort of summoners you'll get, and they're going to do 5x damage. However, if you compare that to at the same time, if they're not a summoner, they're going to lose 20%. So really the math works out to be 80 to 500. So you're probably looking close to like a 6x, maybe even 7x. Just bad at math at the moment. The next thing that you can have a look at is what his actual skills do. I won't go into it too much, especially at these lower levels. He's not too dangerous. You only just need a healer if you just want to keep some survivability. And I just did a quick test. It is actually best for me to run a Serena in this and pull out Leo. And that is because Leo's damage was only about 3 mil and ended up being about less than 30% of what Taylor was doing, and then Taylor died. So I will get more damage if I pull Leo out and keep Taylor alive longer and then put Serena in. So I'm not going to worry too much about the attacks that he's got here, but he has a combination of AoE attacks and I think he's got one direct attack as well. So we'll get into it. Just to give you a show of what you can achieve. So again, I think I'm only on week 3, day 1 at the moment. And we look at the damage that these guys are pulling out here. So 218 mil is quite good. But that's over 2 attacks. So he's got about 110 mil, 109 mil each hit. We should blow that out of the water, I would say. And that's number 1. So number 1 is 109 mil. I'm totally free to play. I don't know if I can check what this guy was running. I'm not sure. That does look like free to play so far. So yeah, he might be quite a good player as well. So let's get into it. The team I'm running here, like I said, I'm going to pull Leo out. I'm going to put Serena in. I'm going to make sure that I've got all my summoners. I do have a Kalaza. But I don't think Kalaza is going to be able to out-damage Taylor. So that's something you want to consider. But yeah, there's no way Kalaza is going to out-damage Taylor, even with the 5x buff. Probably should test it. Actually, let's test it. Let's pull Taylor out. We'll put Kalaza in. We're going to see where we're going to place our heroes. So I'm going to get more crit rate for the characters in the middle, which is pertinent to those two. I don't have a tank. And Senway's getting a +2 to his ult, which is pretty good. And the back line's going to get a tiny bit more defense. But I want Serena to be the tank for this as well. Although actually, maybe not, because if Daniel's the target for the most part, he'll get his ult up a little bit faster. So let's do that. Things that you can look at as well is Daniel actually gets a boost as well. So his attack's going to go up 30%. And on top of that as well, he's getting 5x damage. So he's going to be at a 1.3 multiplier and then times that by 5. So you're looking at a 650% damage increase, I think it works out to be. And I do have a Leo, but his damage was not enough to actually be worthwhile. And I've got all my strongest prototypes on. So let's go. I don't like to auto these. I like to sort of button mash as I'm getting up to the attack. So we'll see, just to speed things up as much as possible. Actually, I do auto the boss though. And we're going to look at Kalaza because I know that Taylor, about 40 seconds out from the end, was at about 12 million. So we'll be able to gauge. Actually, it's looking like Kalaza's going to do a ton more damage. Right, so you can see here he's obviously got an attack where you want to have as many allied units out, and from memory, what he does is he shoots a whole heap of missiles. The more people you have out there to take the hits, the more the rounds spread, so the less damage one person takes. So you see with 10 people out, it drops down to 400% multiplier. The less units you have out, the higher the multiplier is. So that's a 450 multiplier, and you get 10 people out, drops by 50 or half. Yep. So Kalaza was a good option in this case, and Kalaza's not very well geared at all, and I haven't even got any talents on him. So what we might do, just to kind of show the difference, I'll do the first round on this with Kalaza as he is, and next up what we'll do is we'll go reset Taylor to get more talent powers out, and we'll gear him up properly, and we might do a tiny mini showcase on Kalaza just going into this. The main reason for that is to sort of show the differences to what paying attention to the actual skills and the strengths and weaknesses of these bosses, because Taylor, who's fully geared with almost all of his talents unlocked, is being outdone by a Kalaza at a much lower level with terrible gear, which you'll see in a sec, and no talents at all, I don't believe, and definitely no EX. Alright, so you can see the best attack before was 109 million, and so we've almost tripled that, so that's a good sort of hit. And Kalaza, he pulled out 17.8 million, and we are about to do much better. Let's go on with a quick little overhaul of Kalaza, and I'll try and keep this as short as possible, because I should be able to just take this guy's gear off. And reset. I definitely won't keep Taylor and Kalaza like this. I'll be undoing Kalaza after this straight away, because Taylor's too important. But see the gear, I mean, he's got attack, and actually he's got some pretty good attack stuff there, obviously. But I believe when you go into info for him, I think he does work well with crit rate. So yeah, you want enough crit rate so that when his basic attack hits, you boost his crit rate. So, I mean, I'd pretty much aim for like 55% crit rate would be a good base crit rate. And then hopefully by the end of the battle, he'll bump it up enough that he's pretty much critting all the time. When the caster inflicts a critical hit with a basic attack, summons a doppelganger. Okay, yeah, so we're going to be pumping up the amount of copies of him. Increase the caster's attack and summon an additional doppelganger, then materialize all doppelgangers on the battlefield. Yeah, so that's going to be huge. Alright, so he's got a little bit going for him at the moment. So we get 2 doppelgangers out. Cool. Alright. Definitely nowhere near exclusive. Equipment. Replace. So I could grab him off Botmark, but I am using Botmark, and Botmark needs crit just as much as this guy. Would be good to get another crit rate helm. That is not accuracy. I've actually gotten quite unlucky with a lot of the gear in this game. Alright, looks like that is actually the best hat that I have for him. Attack is definitely what we want. That is good to go. Although, that could be better. That will make... Okay, cool. Right, that's not too bad at all. So we got up to quite a huge crit rate in the end. I could even... can't drop that back. Haven't got any... Just looking to see if I've got some attack boots that I can drop from someone else. But I do not. Oh wow, Samway's in HP boots. There's no way he should be in HP boots. He should 100% be in attack boots. But I just don't have enough gear. Yeah, that's going to have to do. Definitely an improvement. I forgot what he got. Did he get 17.6 million before? Right, straight back in. So you can see one of my keys has equaled more than second place with 2 keys. So that could be the difference of just using a summoner, or it could just be that I've built a really, really strong account. Daniel is definitely doing the most damage, so we're going to keep him up the front to boost how quickly he gets his limit break. I call it limit break. I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. Probably said it before in a video, but I can't break the habit. Looking forward to next week, because that's when I'll be getting Mazrani, and I should be able to get Mazrani up to an Immortal. I'm going to be doing a video soon on how I'm preparing for that, because going into a week like next week without a plan is a very, very bad idea, because an Immortal Mazrani can be an absolute game changer in an account. So yeah, you want to make sure you're on top of it. A quick little giveaway at the moment is that I'm weighing up the options whether I should be pulling enough summons this week on Teresh to get me a few more Gene hybrids, or whether it's actually worth me saving my limited tickets and pulling them all on Mazrani, because obviously I have more chances to get extra copies of Mazrani next week. But if I pull this week, I'll get the double chip. So I'm going to do the math and figure out what's worth it. But the other thing to keep in mind is that if I do it where I'm pulling on Teresh this week and going for double chip event, I also have the possibility of getting quite a few copies of Teresh and building him up later, and obviously getting guaranteed double chips, which I think is going to be what I go for, unless the math shows me that it is a terrible idea. So you see the difference in what that gear and the extra talent made. So I'm pretty sure I totaled 17.6 million, and then I'm probably going to add another 10 million to that, so almost 50% extra damage, I'd say. But you see the damage that Daniel's putting out. He is such an important character to build up in the second week. It's only takes a little bit of luck to get him to Immortal, but you can definitely get him to whatever the diamond one is, +3, easy. Alright, so the damage we've got out, 13.7, so about another 8 mil, which is probably the difference of Kalaza then. And yeah, our total keys have absolutely blown everyone out of the water, which is pretty awesome. Cool, well I hope that helps. Obviously what you need to keep in mind is that as you get up higher levels of Turbine, he does get more difficult, and there becomes more of a reliance on having healers, which is why I'm excited to get Mazrani, because Mazrani has buffs where I think she buffs the rear 2 attack players. So you chuck your summoners in the back line and you get another 50% boost, I think it is, to your attack, whilst also doing some healing. So pretty good. Anyway, cheers for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.